Okay, so today I'll be presenting Amnathrig, a secure item management system, an idea that I've had in mind for a number of years, going through many variation of names, ideas, and this is where it is today. Um, so why choose Amnathrig? It's a secure item tracking and management system. It uses encrypted QR code transfers between users, seamless ownership transfers of items, mobile and web access, and multi-user collaboration. So on this main screen, you have the option to sign in. If you've forgotten your password, you could use the forgot password link. Forgot your username, you could have your username emailed to you. And you could create a new account from here if you do not have an account yet. So I'll use one of the saved passwords, the main account, which is an admin user, and I can sign in. And then I see the items that I have available for I have preloaded into the system, or I have loaded since system has been set up. So you have the best developer. I can show the details: name Dale, last name Ross. I can edit the item by going to the details first. Best developer, name Dale, last name Ross. I can edit the item. So detail name Dale. I could change this to first name Dale, and then I could save the changes. Item successfully updated. And I could go back to the main screen, and now if I show details, oh, best developer. If I show details, I need to work on the ordering to make it consistent now. If I show details now, you see first name Dale, last name Ross. I can add details from here. I can view a QR code which comes in handy. So I'll have the details, QR code which comes in handy for when I'm doing transfers. So I'll show you that from the mobile app a bit later on. And if I want to create a new item, I could go here, um, White House. So I own the White House, President's House as a description. Select item type, 16 item type, real estate property, for example. And then address 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And then I register the item registered successfully. If I go back to the main screen, I see it listed. Um, you can also email the QR code. So if it's not someone that you can show the QR code to in person, you can email the QR code to them for them to initiate the transfer by either specifying their username or their email address registered in the system. And the okay, so now we'll look at the security functionality. So with the security settings, you could have standard security, enhanced security, or maximum security. So now we're on standard security. Um, Pass service scribble convenient and secure for most users. Enhanced security, you're able to use a password, but you have a recovery key as backup. And maximum security. So if I switch to enhanced, um, use encryption password. I hate this. I'll copy the password from LastPass that I used previously. Vault. Okay, I'll use the encryption password that I, come on. I'll use the encryption password that I used previously. So I'll copy the password and I'll paste the password, start migration. So it's migrating my encrypted things from so I'll change this before the video goes live. So I'll copy this recovery key, copy it to clipboard, and then I'll add it as a note. So you could use last password. It's recommended that you use um, a secure storage, not in clear text as I just did. But I've saved my recovery key and I'm in enhanced security. So if I switch to maximum, so I I can't see I can't see behind this pop-up, which is probably a bad design. So I'll use the same encryption password, current password and new password. I'll take a generated one here and I'll start migration. And I'll update the password to that in LastPass. So now I'm on maximum security. So maximum and enhanced security are similar in some sense, in that they need a password to view the asset. So if I go back to the home page now, it asks for the password. So I'll fill it with the encryption password and I'll authenticate the session. And now I'm able to see my assets clearly. And you now have a session which expires in 30 minutes. If I end the session, you notice I could also select remember the session for 8 hours instead of 30 minutes and authenticate session again with the password. Now I have a session that expires in 480 minutes. So as an admin user, I can see the usernames and emails of the users in the system. I could delete the users and so forth. But this will change shape as I get feedback on the app and what should be allowed, what shouldn't be allowed, and so forth. But I can come back home and I can also change my encryption password from here. You can also change your encryption password from the encryption settings scene. So you need to be clear on you need to be clear on we need to be clear on what the passwords are. So account password, use that to log in. Encryption password, use that to encrypt your assets to ensure that they're not viewable by other users without your key to de-encrypt them. So if you forget your password and you forget your recovery code for the enhanced or your password for the maximum, you may have to delete all your encrypted data and start over from as a standard user. So this is a nuclear option as stated here. So password reset and recovery. If you have your recovery key, so if you're maximum, you don't have a recovery key, so you can only change your current you can change your password with your current password or reset your data. If we're in enhanced where recovery key is possible, then you get the option to specify your recovery key that you should have saved when you set up your enhanced security or change the password, for example, in enhanced security. So now I'm going to show you the mobile application. So let's start. Let's view, share my screen, share entire screen, share screen. And I'm going to go to Amnathrig. So now I'm going to log in as another user, Dale2, so Dale2, Dale2. So I sign in. Okay, so now I need my encryption key. So I use LastPass. I unlock my items, invalid encryption. Sorry. Password copied to. I just updated it. All right, so demo demo issues and let's view has died as well. So I'll debug. I'll pause streaming for now and see what may have gone wrong here and continue in a bit. Okay, I'm back. So I'm now entering the password. So I enter the encryption key. I'm not sure you're seeing. Okay. Properties. Yes, you can. Okay. So I'm now entering the password. So the screen is blacked out, but I'll go to LastPass, encryption key, copy that, paste the encryption key, unlock. Okay, I was using the wrong account. So, properties. All right, so I need to get the right password for that other user, which is where I was messing up. So let me copy that password to Google password, copy. All right, so I need to go back to let's view Dale, share my screen, share entire screen, share screen. And now I go back to Amnathrig, enter the right password, unlock, need to go back to let's view, which keeps dying on me. So I need to find out why is that. Share entire screen, share screen, Amnathrig. Let's view. Okay. Um, my phone fell off the Wi-Fi, so I'm trying to get it back on so I can properly cast to this other device for OBS. So give me 1 second. So I am back. Let me see if I can get the Pixel 8 showing up again. Properties. Let's recast. Okay. So I'm Nathrig, and let's see if this connection. So, so I force refresh my items, and the let's view is a little slow. So I force refresh my items here, and now you will see the list of items that are in the list. So just some junk and some scans from UPC codes that I did. The let's view is a bit buggy. Let's view is a bit buggy, so my screen share is not staying constant. Share entire screen, share screen, and properties. Let's view cast. Okay, so I go back to Amnathrig. So let's see if I can do this quickly before the let's view bugs out again. So I want to transfer the White House to to another user. So I scan the QR code, and it should say transfer request completed successfully. So I can now get back to the desktop, or while I have the connection, I'll show you scanning a UPC code. So this is so add item by UPC. I click that button. Um, Invalid. So this is a user in single drive. So I get this QR code and scan it, and then basically it gives me the not the QR code, the UPC code. It gives me all the UPC data that's pulled from an API, a trial API that I'm using now. The UC and Advanced Repair Cream 16-ounce triple acting formula intends to moisturize, gently exfoliates, and repairs dry skin. So that's the scan by UPC. And if I create item at the end, item created successfully. So if I look in my list now, I should see the user in Advanced Repair Cream as we see here. So now I can end stop sharing screen from the mobile because I showed you how to initiate a transfer from the mobile app and also how to scan via UPC to start to start a creation of an item from the UPC data received from that API. So I'll stop sharing from the phone now and disable the so if I look on the in the view pending transfers from that transfer that I initiated with the QR code of the White House, if I view pending transfers, um, so right now we're seeing your encrypted item authentication required. So it means the session has died. So I'll go back to the home screen and authenticate the session. Little slow, free servers and all that, but I just want to show the usability of that. So session expires in 30 minutes. So if I go back to view pending transfers now, you see that it's the White House that somebody has required, and that user is Dale 2, the user I logged into from the mobile app to initiate the transfer. So I can either approve or deny the transfer. So if I approve the transfer, transfer approved, and now it's pending request or review. So now I'll log in as that other user. So um, this is the screen for the other user, and I'm already logged in as that user. So if I view pending transfers, no, you notice on the other screen. So on the first screen, you saw pending request or review. So on the in the for the other user, I go to view pending transfers. Now that it's been approved by the other user, it's been encrypted in a system key that allows the other user to see the details. So they're still encrypted, but on the front end, they're sent out decrypted for the user to see. Only the other user will be able to see the details now because it has to verify the IDs that are logged in. So to view the details, I can click White House, Real Estate Property President's House, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. It's encrypted and I can close. If I accept the transfer, I can also reject the transfer and then the initial user can reclaim the transfer, reclaim the item. But if I accept the transfer, you see that transfer request was completed successfully. There are now no pending transfers. And if I go to the home page, I now see that this user, Dale2, has the White House property as one of their items. And if I go back to the other user, the admin user, and I look at his items, you can see it's clearly different items. Kellogg's just canned from a cornflakes box. Main car, Tesla, and best developer, Dale Ross. um, and from Dale 2, you see these items. You see these items. And if we go back to the if we go back to the first user, you realize that the White House is no longer one of their items. So what I've shown you here is transfers of items between users, setting of security modes for the individual users so that you can see that their items are um, encrypted, decrypted, so on and so forth. Not decrypted, sorry, encrypted in a using their ID, or encrypted using a password, or encrypted using a password only, or versus a password is a recovery key if the password is forgotten. So the glitch which we saw at one point was due to I was using the encryption key for user A when I was logged in as user B on the phone. So it wasn't a demo glitch. It was a PEBCAC error problem exists between keyboard and share, or PEBCAC. Yeah, the user was a problem, not the application. So that's more or less Amnathrig in its current variation. If I could show you the email QR code functionality as well. So as user A, I email QR as user B. Let me show you that functionality. So I'm logged in as Dale2 on this machine. So I could specify Dale V Ross, which is the main user. And if I send QR code was sent successfully. So if I log into my email, well, I'll log into my email over here and show you the email once I have logged in. So this is the email. Could be a little more fancy, but you have received a QR code for Asset, the diabetes code by Jason Fung, paperback from Dale 2. Scan the QR code from the Amnathrig mobile app to initiate a transfer, just like it did from the web page where I scanned the QR code that was visible in the user's profile. So if they were logged in on their phone and I was there, I could scan the QR code to initiate a transfer. Or if it's a user that's remote and they can't view your QR code, if you didn't send them a screenshot of it or something like that, you could have it emailed to them based on their user ID or registered email address. So that's more or less Amnathrig. Feel free to let me know what you think, or anything that I could change. I foresee integrations with maybe Amazon to maybe take something from your orders list and like via our API receive a request from Amazon. So you click like save to Amnathrig and it reach out to your logged in Amnathrig account and registers your item that you bought on Amazon. I can foresee integrations with life, not property insurance and lost property. You could have uh, 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 an item list that's exported for verification in their system with the prices and so forth and the costs of the items and various integrations that could take place between having a repository of your own items where you could either consume external APIs to bring in items or so on and so forth. So big dreams, big ideas, but let's see where this first version can take us.